We here.
Yeah,
We here.
we here.
If
We
you know,
here.
you know.
I know that's right. I know that's
Kelly Jackson, what is up?
right. In the building, y'all.
If
In the
you know, you
building.
know. I gotta find my mouse, y'all. Hold on. Let me find it. Let me see where I am. Let me see where I am. Okay, here we are. So, if you would like, for those that are on the session tonight, if you would like to send me over your LinkedIn link for a little live feedback analysis, feel free to do so. If not, mind your business. Don't say nothing. Hey,
Not
LaShawn.
mind your business.
Yeah. Hey, LaShawn. Hey, Letitia. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So we can go ahead and get started. And for those that are dropping in, if you want to send me your LinkedIn, send it over via email. And Kelly gonna give a little sauce on it. So tonight is our very first career coaching transition support conversation. Let's make it do what it do. Most of you all here have already tapped in on the technical skills that are needed to transition into the space of data. So we've already got our tech skills, but when you are when you have the goal of trying to transition into the space, it takes more than just knowing the skill. There's a whole science behind a full transition. So I think that it's important to not only focus on the tech skills that are necessary, that are non-negotiable to be successful in this space, but also learn how to leverage your career as well. That's very valuable. Um, and it's essentially like the missing piece. Like I always talk about tools, and that's the missing piece to a full transition. So that is the purpose of these sessions. They are super interactive, super um, we have a lot of value in them. Now, for those that did not know, okay. LaShawn, I see yours. And Letitia, I see yours as well. Okay. So for those that do not know Kelly, Kelly has been within the space of recruiting for over 30 years now. She's extremely knowledgeable. She's a wealth of knowledge. I got like 22 nicknames for her, probably 23, I don't know. But she's extremely knowledgeable of what she does. And not only is she knowledgeable within the space of recruiting, but she has a lot of business knowledge. She just is smart. Like, so I decided to incorporate her within the conversation to provide that level of guidance from the seat of of someone that has visibility to the operations of tech recruiting and hiring managers and conversations and things like that. So that is where she fits into the full narrative. Um, so these sessions, like I said, they're a lot of fun. We play, we talk, but there's a lot of value that is always dropped as well. Um, and that's why we're here. So tonight we are focused on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, I have this actual fleet first because I think that a lot of people, first of all, don't use and leverage LinkedIn the way that they should. And it's not attributed to anything besides the fact that most of the time it's the afterthought, myself included. I really didn't lean into LinkedIn to maybe like 2017. So most of the time it's like an afterthought. And the reason I did was because my friend was like, you need a LinkedIn. I'm like, girl, I was just like a lot of people. So I think that a lot of people, it's an afterthought to them. They don't really think that it's necessary. And then when they get over there and they start getting an ROI, they're like, why haven't I been over here? So I wanted to have this conversation tonight. So firstly, you learn how to leverage your existing LinkedIn, but also learn how to use it as a networking tool, especially for the space of tech, because it's super valuable in this realm.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
So, did anybody have any particular questions or anything before we hop in? All right. So before we started, how many of you all are actually using LinkedIn regularly? I know all y'all supposed to have one because like I told y'all did. But how many of y'all How many of you all are currently using it, and how many, like, and y'all can use the chat if you want to. When you say your comfort level with LinkedIn on a scale of maybe like 1 to 10, what is that comfort level for you? Letitia said an 8. Okay. Oh, I know it's an 8 for you. Letitia has had a lot. Okay. But yeah, Lashana said LinkedIn feels awkward for me, so I barely use it. Step said a 3. Brittany said a 3. Phaedrian said a 5. Ashley said a 7. Lashana, LinkedIn is very awkward for a lot of people. And I think we talked about that in one of our sessions like a while ago. Because it's awkward for me as well. Because it's almost like you don't even know what to talk about sometimes. Deb said, I know how to use it, but I do not. I understand that. But yeah, it's very awkward for me as well sometimes because it's like, do I want to be funny or do I want to talk about like take stuff or do like what I want to talk about, you know? So yeah.
For sure. That's a good range though for everybody in here in terms of the usage of the platform. You want to think about it as kind of your introduction to the world based on your skills and experience and the knowledge that you bring to the marketplace. And so it's a good opportunity for you to get that digital footprint
Mm-hmm.
as far as your career is concerned. You have the other platforms when you think of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, where you may go scroll for entertainment or where you're connected to your family. But you want to leverage LinkedIn for your career because that's where you spend most of your time, just physically at work. Two is how you pay your bills, right? It's your quality of life. It determines your quality of life. So you want to show up where you have a high percentage of your life kind of wrapped around a lot of us, where a lot of people um, tie their identity in the work that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do you want to be known for? Then, when someone is looking at you, because they're going to look, as recruiters, that's the first place we go. Whether we're looking to see the color of your skin or what you look like, you do the same thing. If you
Mm-hmm.
meet somebody at the, over the phone or somebody say, have you seen, you go Google.
Mm-hmm.
We do it just naturally now with the digital landscape. Same things happen for recruiters, decision makers, hiring managers. When we send them your resume, they're going to go to LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go there. And most of the time is to see your background and experience. But if you don't have a presence there, that's also either one, why not? Two, what you hiding?
Mm-hmm.
Three, are you the real person with AI and everything else going on?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of variables and nuances when it comes to LinkedIn. It's not just a platform where, okay, this is another platform for me to get on. It's a reason. If it's tied to your career, well, it is tied to your career. You want to have a presence there.
Yeah.
And you determine what you put out there.
Yeah.
It's your profile. You can determine. You can, because I've heard it all. I'm private, I'm conservative, I'm reserved, I'm an introvert. I've heard it all. But
Mm-hmm.
you determine what you put out there.
Mm-hmm. How often would you say for someone to I know that, and we'll probably get into that like once we start looking at people's profile. As a someone that sits in a seat that does the vetting and the gatekeeping, I hate to use that word, but that's low key what y'all are, you know. As someone that sits in that seat and does that vetting part, what are, if I was to go and look at someone's profile, what would be like one of the first things that I notice when I look at their profile?
Mm-hmm. Well, our recruiters are on a mission. They don't have time just to be scrolling. They just, they're doing it for a reason. So they're going to skim your profile to, they may, look at your picture, but they're going to see, do you fit the profile that was given from the hiring manager, which is ultimately the description. So I'm going to scan and see, have you done the work that I'm, you know, for the requisition that I'm looking for? That's the job posting. Have you done the work? How long? To what degree? In what depth? Are you giving me the keywords that I'm looking for? Because ultimately we look for skills, not for title.
Yep.
On the side, y'all get caught up in,
Yep.
but most people get caught up in a title. When you go to Indeed, when you go to LinkedIn, Easy Apply, ZipRecruiter, Simply How, you're gonna put in a title. But guess what we put in?
Skills.
Skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be called this at Verizon and
Yep.
this at T-Mobile.
Yep.
So you want to think about from a recruiter standpoint, from a decision maker, especially for a lot of my federal folks, a lot of those titles do not translate to the private sector.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to think about and consider, okay, what is it called over here? Is there a role adjacent to what I do?
Mm-hmm.
Am I translating my skills into the language of the company, the industry, the sector? So you have sector, industry, company. Sector is public, private, NGO, nonprofit. You go down to industry, manufacturing, healthcare, tech, and it goes, it trickles down. So when you go to Spain and Greece and Italy, you use what to translate when you get ready to look for food or look for codes? Use Google Translate, right? So you're translating the word bathroom. When you go to Mexico, it's baño, right? So you're not lying if you change your title. What you're doing is translating it so they understand.
Yes. So it's actually a person on the call. If she want to chime in, this is a perfect opportunity for you. But we were having a conversation, and a big gap is like if you look at what she's doing, you are literally using Google tools and analytics, and you're using all of these, but your title is like something else. And I was explaining that you did it so much more eloquently than I did, because I think that when you have the skills, and when you are performing the skills, and when you're performing the skills, but you are doing those skills under the title that the company has assigned to you, it's almost like an identity disconnect sometimes. And it's almost a gap or a struggle, because it's like, but can I call myself that? I'm like, you're doing the work. If someone that wasn't that can't go in and do that, you're very much so that, you know. And I think that that's a very solid point as well, because like you said, within certain companies and within certain industries, you might call a data analyst an insights analyst or a reporting analyst or a BI analyst or some, and it's like, this is a data analyst, or this is a marketing analyst, or this is whatever they got. And I think that when people are trying to leverage like what they already have existingly, there's a gap there within that identity to be able to make that connection. So I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's up to you to get the training on articulating your value and articulating what it is that you've done. So a hiring manager, a recruiter, decision maker, they're not going to assess you based on your title. They're going to assess you based on the scope of work that you've been responsible for. So don't get so caught up in the title that you miss an opportunity because you're saying that's not me. Look at the job description, look at the body of work, and you might say, oh, I didn't know that was called a program manager. I didn't know that was a project. They call it all kinds of different things, but I think a lot of times we eliminate ourselves because we're so accustomed to what somebody assigned to us.
Come on.
Yeah, and they being companies, organizations, they'll create a job description, create a culture, create a company way of doing things, and make you fit in. So you may have a combination of skills, and all you're doing is using maybe 60% of them, and you're suppressing the 40%, but you're a whole person. And this is what makes you unique. Don't suppress that. Don't undersell yourself for that. Bring everything to the table and attract versus fitting in. For
Yes.
sure.
That was good already. That was good. That was good. I got one more quick question before
Sure.
and if somebody has a question, because I talk like I be getting stuff from this too. So if anybody else has a question, feel free to chime in, because I always have a lot. As someone that is like someone that is trying to position themselves to a analytic title, a space within a title within the space of data. And let's say you are already in marketing or you are already in finance, but you're doing, like we said, like that, you're doing that core work under a different name. What's the most appropriate way to position themselves on LinkedIn? Do I say aspiring data analyst, aspiring analytic professional, aspiring XYZ, or do I say financial analyst, financial whatever? Like, what's the most appropriate way to position themselves like that?
You always want to be future focused, right? You don't want to live in history. So if you're aspiring for a data analyst position and you can back it up, you can show the projects that you all been working on with Lorita, right? You can show how you have your certification, your certificate. This is what I am. This is what I am, right? It's almost like telling yourself and convincing yourself, this is the title that I now hold based on what I've learned and acquired throughout this time period. So put on there what you are. And then again, remember now, you got to be able to back it up. When
Right.
they call you for the pre-screen and they say, well, how long have you been doing so and so? Tell me about the projects you've been working on. Tell the truth. Don't lie. But this is what you are now. Call yourself that, right? And then make sure you can speak to that, articulate your value. You know what, I've worked on these projects, have my certification. If you're looking for entry level, pursue those opportunities. Some people get out of, courses and things like that, and then they go look for a role that's a senior data analyst when they're looking for experience in 7 years of that.
Mm-hmm.
Be mindful on your job search strategy and always be able to articulate your value. And often, especially in data, y'all are in a good position because that's like the number one area where there's demand.
Mm-hmm.
So being really creative and thoughtful about what you call yourself, you just want to align yourself to the market, put that on LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
because LinkedIn gets all of that data. It's called LinkedIn Insights, where you can look at all the different industries and all the different titles. They will tell you because when you hit that drop down, they got a list of them, right? That's what their companies are coming to them.
Mm-hmm.
For what is it called? What is the job description? Use that.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you all of that. That drop down and location and skills, all those skills, when you hit that button to add your skills, that's what the companies are using.
Mm-hmm.
So always think to the future. What am I becoming? Because we will always be on the journey of becoming something. Don't hold yourself down and think, oh, I'm lying if I put this on there. You're not lying. You can tell them. This is what it was called over here at Coca-Cola, but I know this is what the market and the industry is calling this, and this doesn't align with that. Tell the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't be fearful of that, because I promise you, they're not even gonna ask you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had to learn it the hard way. Not the hard way, but it was like a life lesson when this was not, it was actually not this role, the last role, but the job was advertised like on LinkedIn as a data scientist, quote unquote. That was the title. So I interviewed under the data scientist. I got an offer under the data scientist. But then when I signed my offer letter, it was like IT something, I don't know. IT system something. And I like had a fit. I like was like, come here. Like we need to have a conversation. And my manager was just like, it don't matter. My title was like IT something as well. And then when I looked at as I got into the role, I actually was functioning as an analytics engineer. I wasn't even doing the data science work. I was doing the analytics engineering work. So it's like even in that, it was kind of like this is how you're functioning. This is what you're doing. And my manager also had been like he got his computer science degree in like the 80s. So he'd been in a space for so long where he's like, you like he taught me that this was in 2023, I think. And it was just like I was so mad. I was so mad when I saw my little team's title. Cause what you mean? That ain't what y'all told me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I talked about that today on a video on LinkedIn as far as
mhm,
negotiating yourself. You can negotiate your title. You can negotiate, all the things you can negotiate. But your title is one because you know that if and when you have to get back out there in the market, they're not going to recognize this title here. So
right.
that's something you can negotiate as well. So I've had that from plenty of candidates. We had a system specialist at Macy's when they got into the tech space. And he said he's not going to accept the offer because nobody knows what that is. What is that?
Right.
What is that? So we had to call him with, and it makes sense. You got to fight for it in the beginning because once you in,
Mm-hmm.
you in.
Mm-hmm. Your girl was mad. I I had to. He was just like, "Girl, just don't even." But okay.
Mhm.
I am about to share my screen. Do we have any more questions before we get in some live analysis feedback? And y'all quiet? Okay, don't play with me. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You got company, so they don't know.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So,
I mean, my mic's muted, but I'm laughing at you.
oh God. I hope you picking up what I'm putting down, my girl.
For sure. Is this Letitia? Letitia?
Hmm. So a little bit about her. She's in finance. Um, she has like a very deep finance background. So she's in finance, and she is most recently has transitioned to the space. But this is her background. I mean, this is her LinkedIn, and let's go.
Fantastic. I love it. Very pretty. Letitia, am I saying it right? Letitia.
Where is
Um,
she?
Letitia, got you. I got you. I got you. Love the picture. Beautiful smile. Just like I said earlier, we're going to look, and you want to be approachable. And we always talk about a likability factor. So that is something that they assess as well. So you definitely want to have the smile. Your banner, your LinkedIn banner, is also what we call prime real estate, because this is one of the first things that's seen from a recruiter. Think about if you have Outlook. If you just see the preview of Outlook, you see the first couple of sentences, right? You'll see who it's from, what the subject is, and just a little bit about it. When
Mm-hmm.
we are on the back end of LinkedIn, the same rules apply. We see a quarter of the page. So we're going to see that banner for sure. On that banner, since it's prime real estate, it's an opportunity for you to use keywords. Number one, so you come up on our list in the first place, but number two, to tell us a little bit about yourself. So if you're a data analyst, that would be definitely something I would have on that banner. If you know Tableau, SQL, pivot tables, and all the stuff Lorita's shared with you, all of those skills is an opportunity for you to come up in our search. And also because every platform has an algorithm and it's based off of almost kind of like Google SEO, why not use it since it's free space? So there you can neatly put all of the things that you know in terms of skills. That's an opportunity for you to use that space for your skills as well as your title, because it's a given, your LinkedIn URL, because they're on your profile, right? So I would use that space for, again, put your skills, and you got risk management analyst, which is great, but put some other skills there. But other than that, I think it's good. I love the colors too.
Yeah, I do as well. Are you talking about this part right here?
Yeah, it's a given, right? We're on your
Mhm.
page. We can grab that from the URL. So I would use that space to put in some skills.
Skills, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That makes sense. I looked at it, I didn't even pick up on that, but I do see that does make a lot of sense.
For sure.
And then sometimes I kind of go back and forth with it. Like I'm kind of like talk with recruiters all the time. So I'm having to, like, I'm about to actually go back and change some things the way they were. Like my most recent recruiter, she had me to go in and change a lot, like a lot of things. And I noticed now, well, like now when you speak with recruiters, it's like, oh, revamp your resume to this, like, to make it stronger. So then I also just had one that's like, hey, my hiring manager is going to view your LinkedIn. So I had to go in there and change a lot. And my other banner, it has a title as well. I never thought to actually put the skills on there. So like I had one that had like risk management analyst, financial analyst, like each individual
Mm-hmm.
title per se. But I'll go in and add the skills, then I can stop actually changing the background.
I see that.
Yeah, because skills won't change. That's something that's a part of it, right? Titles will, skills won't. So put the skills there, and that'll help you, because there's a whole skills section, but as many
Right.
times and ways that you can add a skill so that you'll come up on somebody's list, go ahead and use that.
So what's the most that you would put on the banner? Like 4 to 5?
Yeah, I was just going to say 4 to 5. You don't want it to be too cluttered, right? We say clear, not clever. So we don't want to get too clever and get too fancy. The clear you can be, because again, imagine all the recruiters and all the people that are in the market right now. We're just skimming. We're just skimming. And the first thing you want to do is be on the list in the first place for us to skim, right? So making sure if I'm thinking about my profile, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure, since I'm on the platform, that when they do come to my platform, they know what I'm known for, right? I'm known for risk management analyst. I love that. It's bold. It's right there in your face. It's no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So even going from recruiter to recruiter, career coach to career coach, or this person to this person, you got to land somewhere, and it should start with you and what your goals are. If you know you want to be in risk management, let's just define your profile for that right there and stay with it, stay steady, and keep elevating it. Right now, they being recruiters will say the hiring manager is going to look at your profile. So make sure X, Y, and Z. If they contacted you, right, that means the recruiter has looked at it. They looked at your resume. If they're saying, add a few tweaks, then you should have a shell already there that you're not changing the whole thing because you just said I had to change a lot. You should have a solid.
It was removing, like, say, that's what I was about to ask. Like, previously, I had a recruiter to tell me to go in and take bullets from my resume and put under the job titles on LinkedIn. But the one that I was just working with last week told me to remove it. So I kind of have like a spreadsheet per se with everything in it because I'm constantly going back and forth. So it's not that it's, for some it may be too much, and then some it's like, hey, remove this in the resume. So that's what I was going to ask next. Like, when we add like a job, should we put the description there? Because it seems like to me, like my last 3 recruiters I've been speaking with a lot here lately, and they'll say remove that. We see the titles and we have your resume. Then you have something that's like, hey, add a couple of bullets to your job description, and that's kind of new to me, I would say, these last couple of months, because it's usually just the resume. Like, hey, go in and add this, remove this. Now it's like the LinkedIn part, and it's kind of frustrating now because it's like, okay, we already have to do enough resumes. Now I'm having to go in and edit the LinkedIn too. LinkedIn, like, just say if I have, because risk management goes into every Jesus Christ
domain.
I've been talking so much today, but yes, it goes into pretty much every domain from finance to tech to everything. But then I'll have those, it's like, just take this out, or it's too general, or put more. It really just depends on who it is.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say,
it's exhausting 4 times this long.
Yeah, first of all, that's exhausting. That's exhausting.
It is, but I'm getting jobs, so I ain't gonna complain.
How many you need?
A lot.
You need a lot of jobs?
I mean, contract, not full time. So sometimes I had to stack. That's just what's working.
Oh, okay. So you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do, then. All right, we're gonna keep going.
So this a header. These are her.
Yeah.
What is this called? Kelly?
Huh?
What is this called? I forgot.
Your headline?
Okay, headline. Okay.
Your headline. You used AI for that, right?
What, her headline?
Her summary.
Oh, her summary about.
Did you use AI?
I'm sorry. Oh, you're asking me that I use AI for this?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So that M dash right there, you were able to put in there between excellence and helping?
I don't actually type in on LinkedIn. I use a whole nother, and then I paste it in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see. So the featured section you have, that looks good.
She's very active.
I see that. Was that 6 days?
That's what I'm saying. I have like a spreadsheet with a whole lot of different things in because I'm having to constantly update.
For sure. No, it looks good. Scroll down, Lorita. Got your experience on there. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It looks full. All the I see the different contracts on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice compliance into it, seasonal. 6 years there. Mm-hmm. No, it looks good. It looks solid. You definitely can tell what you do and what your background's in. So it looks good.
her skills too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the skills section. No, it's solid. Solid.
Yeah, and she got her
Great
recommendations
job.
here.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a recommendation too the other day, I think. But yeah, she got her skills listed out, her certificates, education. Hers is really good because she already has like her skills and stuff listed out. Usually that's a gap.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Mm-hmm. This is Lashana's.
The Shauna House.
And I got two houses on this. They spelled different. I never like she a house and then Stephanie. She a house, but with a Z. I'm like I ain't never seen it before. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good job on the thing. I love the skills you have there. Again, that space can be leveraged for, like I said, it's prime real estate. So wherever you
Oh,
can
right here.
add skills, I'm talking about the banner. So
Oh,
wherever
okay.
you can add skills, just think about it. This is an opportunity for me to get picked up by recruiters in their list. So you can definitely leverage that for that as well. Data analyst, enthusiastic learner, connecting with data enthusiasts. This is also a space, I think it's 250 characters where you can really dial in what you want to be known for. So is it a data analyst in tech? In manufacturing and green skills. So we really want to, as much as possible, dial in because data analyst is broad, right? Is it in healthcare?
Mhm.
Where is it, right? So we want to dial in as much as possible. Again, what do we want to be known for in what space? Because if I'm a recruiter and I'm looking for a data analyst, I'm in a certain sector, I'm in a certain industry. I could be at a hospital and I need someone to come in to help me with all the data from there. So I'm looking for a specific person in the data space. So you want to make sure you're coming up on that list. So you have 250 characters there. Enthusiastic learner and connecting with data enthusiasts, that's just telling about Lashana's personality, where this is for you to get contacted by recruiters and for decision makers to see you, right? That's a nice to have. But since you have that space that they've given you for free to market yourself, you're not paying for an ad, you're not paying for a commercial on TV. They're giving you this free space to advertise and market your skills because now you're a product and your skills, your talent, your experience, your knowledge, all of that is products. So you are a product and you're selling your skills. So when you go into Walmart or Costco or wherever we're going now, on the shelf,